Hello and namaste. I guess I spoke for last 3 minutes on my own about this book and the journey, and I realized as I look up that I'm on mute. So the joke is on me today. It's the weekend. Hi, everybody. I must be really tired that I didn't see that I was on mute all this time. So, uh, but I actually was sharing something dil ki baat, like a heartfelt story. Um, Now that I realize I've been on mute for last almost 4 minutes, and I was talking to myself, but I guess that's a good start. So, what I was sharing was how I came upon this book, and interesting fact is that back in 2010, I remember as a student, um, when you have a student and you're covering your own tuition and life and books and everything else, the cost of working as three jobs and being a full-time student and hustling, I learned how to hustle at a young age. And I learned that, per my parents, they taught me that we can give you the best upbringing, but you have to figure out life on your own. So you have to figure out your spiritual path, your path that you want to be on. And I remember trying to find a place for Kriya Yoga. And in Hollywood, there was this event happening and it was free. So I jumped on it and I was like, I'll go check it out. And I went to that event, and he was, the gentleman was the disciple of Yogananda, Paramhansa Yogananda himself. And he was giving a lecture. And I think I was very naive to know that what I was going to be, the world I was going to be, brought into. So I think those were my divine blessings that I was there and I got to be on the first seat. So I was very excited to learn and see what I'm about to learn. No idea why I'm here, but I just wanted to jump on a free thing about yoga. And that's how I came on this. And as the event ended, it was such a beautiful, uplifting, moving moment for me. And after I was walking out, they had this book stand. So I checked out the books. As a college student, when you dig deep down in your pockets, you barely know um, how it's going to go because you have to worry about gas and all that, and you're on credit cards. And I had remembering like about $11 each book back then. It was, I think, yeah, just about $11 with taxes. 9.95 is the book, and I had about, I would say, $34 on me, or $35, and that was the money that I needed to make back to the gas, to back from Hollywood to where I lived. So for me, it was like a decision, like, okay, well, I'm here, I should buy these books. I like the event, and it was nice, and I want to learn more. And I started digging into the books and I read, and it really did inspire me so much that I've been following it, especially these two chapters. I've been following this through the core of my life. And um, I'm so happy that today I again get to be on this path to visit these chapters and share with everybody. I have excitement, and I'm excited to again visit some paragraphs that will enlighten me in a different way after so many years visiting them. So here we go, without wasting time. And thank you again for your patience and your listening. And again, like I said, the first 4 minutes, I apologize. I did not realize I was on mute because I was busy talking with my eyes closed. Sometimes I do get nervous in the beginning of the live, but then it calms me down. So without wasting your time and my time on getting late for the evening, Chapter 3, Avoiding the Happiness, Thieves. Evil is the absence of true joy. That is what makes it evil. You see? Otherwise, can you say that a tiger commits evil in the killing its prey? To kill is the tiger's nature, given to it by God. Nature's laws are impersonal. Evil comes into the picture when one has potential for attaining inner joy. Anything that separates us from that divine state of being is evil for us. because it distances our awareness from that which we really are and from that which we really want in life. Hence, the scriptural injunctions against lust, for example, and pride, the commandments are for man's welfare, not for the Lord's gratification. They are warnings to the unwary that, although certain attitudes and actions may at first seem fulfilling, the end of the road for anyone pursuing them is not happiness but pain. People seeking happiness must avoid the influence of bad habits, which lead to evil actions. Evil actions produce misery sooner or later. The repetition of a few weak actions produces habits of weakness. Most people allow their self created habits of weakness or failure to enslave them. You can save yourself if you have made up your mind to live differently. But your resolution to fight bad habits must be persistent until success is reached. Whatever you made yourself in the past, that is what you are now. It is you who, by the secret, invisible traces of your own past actions, have been controlling the power of your present actions. It is you who, through the law of cause and effect that governs your actions, ordered yourself to be punished or rewarded. You have probably suffered enough. It is time now for you to parole yourself from the prison of your own past undesirable habits. Since you are the judge, no jail of suffering, poverty, or ignorance can hold you if you're ready to liberate yourself. Avoid speaking negative things. Why look at the drains when there is beauty all around? You could take me into the most perfect room in the world, and still, if I wanted to, I would be able to find faults in it. But why should I want to? Why not enjoy its beauty? If we concentrate on the bad side, we lose sight of the good. Doctors say that millions of terrible germs pass through our bodies, but because we aren't aware of them, they are far less likely to affect us than if we sense their presence and worried about it. When we look at negative side long enough, we ourselves take on negative qualities. When we concentrate on the good, we take on goodness. Worries are hard to eliminate. You kill off some, and others seem to swarm and seemingly from nowhere. They almost bite the life out of you. Just as you use ant poison to kill the pests that infest your house, so you must use the chemical of peace to destroy the thoughts of worry. Every time a swarm of worries invades you, refuse to be bothered and wait calmly, seeking the remedy. Spray the appearing worries with your powerful peace chemical. You cannot buy this peace chemical in any drugstore. You must manufacture it in the stillness of your daily practice of concentration. This peace chemical is a compound of the burning acids of habitual calmness and sorrow killing pale happiness. The acids of calmness and pale happiness must be prepared in the laboratory of self discipline and constant trials. Worries are stupefied by calmness and slight happiness, but are completely eradicated by the constant culture of steadfast peace. Worries can be quelled by more worrying or by madly racing to quell them, but all worry pest can be destroyed by the habit of fostering powerful peace. Beware. The mind must be protected from four alternating psychological states of sorrow: false happiness, indifference, and a deceptive, passive peace that claims the ego for brief intervals. Whenever it manages to shake off the other three, look at any face and you will be able to tell whether its owner is at the mercy of any one of these. Rarely do people faces remain calm while they are in the grip of four unstable mental states. Whenever a person is denied his desire for something like health or pleasure, sorrow comes and changes that person's face. Prince Smile is rooted by King Sadness, who tortures the muscles and distorts the expression. Whenever a person's desire is fulfilled, he is temporarily happy. Sorrow is born of unfulfilled desire, happiness of fulfilled desire. Sorrow and false happiness, like Siamese twins, dwell and travel together. They are the children of desire and are never far apart. If you invite false happiness, sorrow is sure to follow. When the ego is not buffeted about by sorrow or happiness, people find themselves in the third state, indifference or boredom. You ask a person engrossed in indifference, "Are you sad?" "Oh no," he replies. Then you ask him, "Are you happy?" "Oh no," he drawls. "Well then," you ask, "what is the matter with you?" "Oh," he cries, "I'm just bored." That is the mental state of many people. I think I have said that too once or twice. Yeah, I think I just caught myself saying that over the weekend. So, beyond these changeable states of sorrow, false happiness, and indifference lies the neutral state of passive mental peace. It is of a negative, short lived nature, an aftermath of and temporary lust in. Sorry, let me read that one more time. Beyond these changeable states of sorrow, false happiness, and indifference lies the neutral state of passive mental peace. It is of a negative, short lived nature, the aftermath of and temporary lull in the first mentioned three states. Beyond these four states of consciousness is the unconditional, ever new state of bliss felt only in meditation. Don't spend too much time joking. I myself like to laugh, but I have my sense of humor under control. When I'm serious, nobody can tempt me to laugh. Be happy and cheerful within. Grave, but ever cheerful. Why waste your spiritual perceptions in useless words? When you have filled the bucket of your consciousness with the milk of peace, keep it that way. Don't drive holes in it with joking and idle speech. Don't joke too much. Joking is a false stimulant. It doesn't spring from true happiness and doesn't give true happiness. When you joke a lot, the mind becomes restless, light, so that it can't meditate. Don't make unhappiness a chronic habit, for it is anything but pleasant to be unhappy, and it is blessedness for yourself and others if you're happy. It is easy to wear a silver smile or pour sweet happiness through your voice. Then why be grouchy and scatter unhappiness around you? It is never too late to learn. You are old as your chronic thoughts, and you are young as you feel now, in spite of your age. When Mr. Sorrow comes, do not give him strength by acknowledging his presence. If you feed him with the nectar of your tears, he will stay. If he will soon spread all over the bedroom of your life. The minutes he arrives, laugh at him, that will cheat of him his joy. Then kick him in the stomach, apply the fists, limbs, and elbows of your will, and throw him entirely out of your chamber of your life. Thus you will win both a physical and metaphysical victory over sorrow. One who was born disadvantaged in any way should resist fiercely the temptation to wallow in self pity. To feel sorry for oneself is to dilute one's inner power to overcome. Your individual happiness depends to a large extent upon protecting yourself and your family from the evil results of gossiping. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, think no evil, feel no evil. Most people can talk about other people for hours and thrive under the influence of gossip like temporary influence of intoxicating, poisonous wine. Isn't it strange that people can smoothly, joyously, and with caustic criticism talk about the faults of others for hours but cannot endure reference to their own faults at all? The next time you're tempted to talk about the moral and mental wickedness of other people, immediately begin to talk loudly about your own mental and moral wickedness for just 5 minutes and see how you like it. If you do not like to talk about your own faults, if it hurts you to do so, you certainly should feel more hurt when saying unkind and harmful things about other people. Train yourself and each member of your family to refrain from talking about others. By giving publicity to a person's weakness, you do not help him. Instead, you either make him wrathful or discouraged, and you shame him, perhaps forever, so that he gives up trying to be good. When you take away the sense of dignity from a person by openly maligning him, you make him desperate. When a man is down, he too well is aware of his own wickedness. By destructive criticism, you push him still farther down into the mire of despondency into which he already is sinking. Instead of gossiping about him, you should pull him out of with loving, encouraging words. Only when aid is asked should spiritual and moral help is offered. To your own children or loved ones, you may offer your friendly, humble suggestions at any time and remove their sense of secrecy or delicacy. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye make, it shall be measured to you again. This is from Matthew 7. There is plenty of dirt to remove from your own mental home. Do not indulge in evil talk about the mental dirt in the lives of other people, but get busy and free your own life from weakness. Silently heal yourself of the desire to criticize, and when free from condemnation and gossip yourself, teach others to be better by your sympathetic heart and good example. Unkind words used in a fit of emotion are like conflagration that spreads over the forest of friendship and burns up all the green plants of courteous dealings and sympathetic thoughts. People drunk with excitement and accustomed to anger slavery are emotional firebugs who, at the slightest provocation, light the matches of wrathful words and set fire to the inner peace of souls. As forest fires cause millions of dollars of loss to the country, so emotional firebugs, by setting fire to the happiness of millions of intelligent people, cause billions of dollars of loss to creative thinking, and cause great waste of human nerve energy. In order to be kind, it is not necessary to agree about everything. If you disagree, always remain calm and courteous. It is human weakness to get angry and scold, but it is divine strength to hold the reins of your temper and speech. No matter what provokes you, behave yourself, by calm silence or by genuine kind words. Show your kindness is more powerful than the other person's ugliness. Before the mellow light of your forgiveness, all the gathered hatred of your enemies will melt away. If you're suffering from indigestion of unkindness or crabbiness, drink the medicine of sweetness. If you make up your mind to change, start by speaking sincere, kind words to those whom you have been unjustly harsh. First, be courteous to your immediate relatives. When you can do that, you will be habitually kind to all people. Happiness has its foundation on the altar of understanding and kind words. Unkind words are ruthless murderers of a lifelong friendship and harmony of homes. Banish unkind words from your lips forever and make your home life stay from trouble. Sincere, sweet words are nectar to thirsty souls. They are in demand everywhere. Sweet words create happiness in friends, enemies, churches, business offices, and everywhere. People feel happy when a crabby person leaves the room, and they are glad when a sweet voiced, sincere friend appears. People are afraid of decaying diseases that beset the body, but few seriously hunt for a cure when they contract the dread psychological disease of jealousy. Shakespeare called it a canker eating at the roots of love. It is worse than that. The jealousy epidemic seems to be raging in the minds of all nationalities. Jealousy is the matrimonial TB. It eats into happy, healthy married life and utterly destroys it by hemorrhages of suspicion. Continuous mutual nagging acts like bronchial outbursts affecting the lungs of happiness. It is also the business tuberculosis. When it enters into a business concern, the tissues of cooperation and unity, which are the life of an organization, begin slowly or rapidly to decay. All healthful politician and religious organizations should beware of this decaying disease. Guard your happiness from its devastation. If you are a slave to your senses, you cannot be happy. If you are a master of your desires and appetites, you can be a really happy person. If you overeat against your will, If you wish anything contrary to your conscience, if you act wrongfully, forced by your senses, against the wish of your inner self, then you cannot be happy. People who are slaves to the senses find that their evil habits compel them to do things that will hurt them. Stubborn bad habits plunge in your willpower every time it tries to take the lead and guide your thoughts to the kingdom of right action. The remedy lies in rescuing your willpower from imprisoning power of your senses. To yield to bad habits is to make them stronger and your willpower weaker. Fight your bad habits of anger, fault finding, jealousy, fear, inertia, overeating, or whatever your particular weakness is, by not yielding to the temptation against your will. When you determine to do something that you know is absolutely right, go through with it at any cost. This will give your wisdom guided willpower more over your bad habits. Renounce last year's material failure, spiritual indifferences, mental and moral weaknesses, and half-hearted meditations by using your will to be prosperous, by exercising self-control, and by meditating deeply until you actually contact God. Almost every soul is a prisoner of the senses, which are entrenched on the surface of the body. The soul's attention is lured away from its inner kingdom in the medulla, the spiritual eye, and the chakras to the outer regions of the body where greed, temptation, and attachment have their strongholds. The devotee who wants to lead King Soul away from the misery making slums of the senses finds that he cannot do without a severe clash between the soldier of the senses and the divine soldiers of the soul. If you haven't enough willpower, try to develop won't power. When you are at the dinner table and Mr. Greed lures you to eat more than you should, tries to chloroform your self-control and cast you into the pit of indigestion, watch yourself. After partaking of the right quality and quantity of food, just say to yourself, I won't eat anymore, and get up from the table and run. When somebody calls, John, come back and eat some more. Don't forget the delicious apple pie, just call back. I won't. Thoughts of dishonesty, temptation, revengefulness are soldiers of misery making senses. They want to conquer the kingdom of your happiness and keep you prisoner in the dungeon of unhappiness and misery. As soon as the soldiers of wrong thoughts rally together to attack your inner peace, wake up the soul soldiers of light, honesty, and self-control, and wage a furious battle. Remember, it rests with you whether you want greed, sense slavery, anger, hatred, revengefulness, or worries to rule your life, or whether you will let the divine soldiers of self-control, calmness, love, forgiveness, peace, and harmony rule your mental kingdom. Drive away the rebel sense habits that have brought misery to your empire of your peace. Be king of yourself, and let the soldiers of goodness and good habits rule the kingdom of your mind. Then happiness will reign within you forever. Give both the good and the bad that you do to God. Of course, that does not mean that you should deliberately do things that are bad, but when you cannot help yourself because of too strong habits, feel that God is acting through you. Make him responsible. He likes that. For he wants you to realize that it is he who is dreaming your existence. As long as you're making the effort, God will never let you down. And with this, I finished chapter 3. I have chapter 4 that I feel like I will continue a little later, couple hours from now. I am a little exhausted for the evening and I'd like to take a break. So I think I will come back again in the next half an hour maybe. I will join again to do chapter 4, and I will hope that if any of you would like to join, please do join. Thank you again for listening. See you guys soon.